Well, hello, my friends. You guys might not have seen the package I got from Zippo, but this was the automatic or valve lapping tool, whatever you want to call it. And I've got it all cleaned up. I did not paint it or anything. I think it deserves to have the old patina. I'm not the kind of guy that's into patina, but I think this tool should just show how old it is. Because you know it's lapped valves in a, what do you call it, like a Model T, stuff like that, right? You know it. It's got a little spring in there. And I've cleaned everything up. I'll get the grease off of everything. So now I'm just going to use a little bit of air tool oil, which is what this is. It's just like an air tool. Slow. So we're just going to add some lubrication where we think is necessary. Moving parts. Yes, I got a good one yesterday. That's for you, Zip. I was just cutting up plastic with a grinder. The hot plastic got on me. So now we're going to put a little bit of air tool oil down into this spring down here because it flexes, see that? And then we're going to push this up and get some air tool oil down in the shaft too. Good. That's all we need. This is a very simple thing. I'm glad I cleaned it up because it was gummy. And I'm sure Zippo knew that. I need the cover. My kingdom for the cover. Where did that go? Oh. It still has to be cleaned. So we'll do that right now. It has a little bit of grease. See how that's what it was like, eh? I forgot I didn't clean that. I'll be back in just a bit. I guess we could witness that, eh? Solvent. Toothbrush. Yes, I should have gloves on. No, I just, like when I get an old tool like this, I just wonder, is the gentleman who, or the lady who used it, are they even here? Am I going to be the last guy to use it? Because it's a pretty old school thing. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let me go blow this off. I'll be right back. You can tell it's a quality piece just by the way it goes together. Now it almost looks like it had a wooden handle going in the top, eh? Right here. So you could hold it like a drill. I wonder if I've got a piece of dowel that size. I'm just going to look around, guys. All right, I just had an epiphany. This did not go on the end down here. This goes in here. I don't even need a handle. I've got one. Boy, that was dumb, eh? But that's, I mean, I've never seen one of these before. And I am going to just add a tiny bit of synthetic grease, which they didn't have back then. Now, whenever you open up a can of grease, you make sure you don't contaminate it. Okay. Just add a little bit of grease into that spring and onto the lobes of that gear. And onto this guy. It had grease in it to start with, so we might as well add some. Here we go, that feels good. Okay. Well, I'm embarrassed about that handle. It was there all along. I will include that in my video. There we go. I might need a slightly longer screw there though. Oh, it's self-threading. Beautiful. And so are these. Oh, this was a great little project for an afternoon when your back's out, eh? And everything back then was slotted screws. Probably a 3/8 nut. Are you with me on this? I just did a video and I had to try and squeeze it down into... Oh, that's better. Oh, something's catchy. Oh, it's probably because it's right-handed. Yeah. Likes to go forward only. Okay, let's tighten it up. Dun-dun-dun-dun. 3/8. I'm glad I cleaned it out because that old grease was pretty rough. So you guys caught me in an embarrassing moment. I never recognized that handle to be a handle. Okay, how does that feel? Good. Excellent. Okay, so this is how it works in real life, you guys. You put the cup on there for the valve. Try the other way. Perfect. You put her on there and it just goes back and forth. That's the coolest thing on earth. I'm going to clean it up. Thanks. Alright, do you guys want to see something that's ultimately cool? I found a small screw, flathead, so it's within the design kind of the time frame. It goes through this side and it threads into the other side. But it's too long. We'll just make sure it does this, right? So I got a screw cutter. Now there's something that you guys might not even realize, and you guys have screw cutters too. On the old cheap wire cutters, like these, which you shouldn't use anymore, you should use calibrated ones. There is, I'm going to go through this way. You thread the screw in. Are you watching? Now I need about 3/8 of screw there, eh? But you got to file the end because it's going to have a nib So that's probably about right there. Maybe a little further back. You do this, right? And then you just take the screw out. Actually, you screw it in and then take it out so that you've got threads to start. This might even work without having to file the end. And it's slipping a little. I may have to get a nut for it. I really don't want to. There we go. You guys want to see how this works on a real valve? I'll be right back. All right, this is actually real world stuff, guys. I just have the end of my valve grinder just stuck on the end, but if you notice the path and the actual rubber is turning too. Isn't that cool? But I don't want to wreck the end of this. I'm going to make one for this. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like with a bolt or something that will just pop that on there. Because that's the size that I use. So that was it right there, eh? Beauty! So actually using a bolt is a heck of an idea. All right. So my mission, should I decide to accept it now, is to get a nut that'll hold that. Right? And also to build out of this 3/8 bolt, which is very close to the size of this pin. I can fit that over that, right? And then I'm going to, but I'll use the shank, and I can build a little insert for that. Exactly the same dimensions. Are you with me on that? And then I can use this on the smaller ends. I'm sure I can use both. Just like that. Okay, so now just assume that's on the beautiful, eh? And if I have to buy another one of these, I will. So that's just too fun. Now I gotta clean up.